Where we're at, TNT.
Talk for a sec.
Where we're at, TNT.
footy madness where the crowds collide. Taz, Todd, and Eggy, we're ready for the ride. Taz rocks the blues with Crips in his heart. Viewers' questions coming now, that's just the start. Goals and speckies in the heat of the game. AFL glory, yeah, it's all the same. TNT footy, we're living the dream. With Taz, Todd, and Eggy, we're a winning team.
G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of TNT Footy. I'm Taz. In the middle we've got Eggy, and on the end we've got Todd. How you doing?
What's going on, boys?
How are we?
How are we?
Good, mate, good. Hey, give me a sec. Sorry.
He's
put
just
us.
going to run. I'm
No,
not
no,
allowed to
he's-
eat my
he's-
tea, but he's allowed to do a runner during the show.
No, he's putting us on the spot. Something's coming up.
Here I was, just giving us like a...
Yeah, he's putting on his
He's
winner's
got the
top.
jersey
Putting on his
on.
winner's top. Oh, the lid's off, baby. He beat
Lid's
West
off.
Coast.
He's beat West Coast, who have not won a game in 10 years, and he's putting the lid off.
How are we, boys?
No, good, mate. Good.
I've been sitting here sweating my ass off for the last 15 minutes waiting for us to go live so I could do that.
We're 10 off. Could have done it live. You know you can strip on the show, Tassie. We've got no fucking... Nothing against it. You could have just whipped it off on the show. You didn't have to do it up in the over in
Nah,
private.
mate, I just wanted to give it a bit of mayo.
No, that's good, boys. Good to see you've had a win. I mean, it's against the West Coast, who had the least contested possession of any team ever in the VFL, AFL, ever. It's not this week, ever.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's like you played a junior side, mate.
They just knew they weren't going to beat us.
side.
Look, you can't even see the Carlton logo here. Look at that. I'd rather cut my head off so you can see the beautiful blue.
Hey, let me repeat, ever, Tassie. 5,500 games in VFL, AFL. It was the worst performance by a side ever.
That's okay though.
Ever.
It's still a win for the Blues. We're going to turn it around.
It's good. It's good.
We're gonna get
I
on
don't
the-
think you turn around. If you turn around this weekend, I'm walking out at halftime.
You will anyway. You always do.
Good evening, George, and then Turtle's giving you a whack, Taz. Good evening, Jamar, the stats man. Welcome.
Hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of acting, I suppose I'm going to call it.
I didn't. I thought he was doing a runner, and they've told me I couldn't eat tea, and now he's done a runner during the show.
G'day, Calzo. Yes, Jamar. Very good. Very good. Got another awesome, or should I say explosive show tonight. We've got our gather round review. We're going to look into what's to come in the Easter long weekend. Then we're going to have Mr. Moist's controversial call, as we always do.
Ooh, it's a big one this week, boys.
Oh,
Followed by
gonna like
Woo
it.
Girls Wowee. Viewers' questions. And then we're going to finish off with the tips.
Beautiful.
So who wants to kick us off tonight, boys?
As always, don't forget to like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and if you want a T-shirt or anything, Eggy's doing some stuff on that. And
Yes. Check it out.
we've also got my tune-in Saturdays or Sundays, depends when North Melbourne plays. I'm running for losing, I suppose we call it. I've started every goal we lose. I'm up on TikTok. I run 11Ks last week and 8K this week. So going to run goal for every goal we lose. I'm going to do a K. Eggy wants me to do freaking 8Ks.
I do. Well, let's put it to chat, because last year around this time you did a run that was 16K, and then the other week it was like January or February, you were sending out the message, oh, you usually do a 5K run, but you got bored, so you decided to do 10K. So I don't reckon 8 kilometers is that hard out of your target range anyway. So I don't reckon you're pushing yourself. I reckon
Mate,
you gotta go more.
it was tough. It was tough. I reckon you come do it with me, and then we'll go further if you think it's all right.
I wouldn't be able to do it with you, but I could do it on my own. I could probably do 8K in maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I reckon.
Yeah, you'll do it quicker than that. I've done it in about an hour, I think it was.
I'm doing a little 100-meter burst, and 100-meter walk, 100-meter burst, 100-meter walk.
Well, so if they get in, I'll do it over the week. If they want, I'll do. I don't know. What do you say?
5Ks per goal kicked, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah,
I think it was a K a point. I think he said
Oh no, it wasn't that much, because geez, you had to do 40Ks.
40Ks. It isn't really that much, but
5Ks a goal.
5Ks a goal. Well, that's pretty much a K a point, mate.
Well, just broke my drink bottle. That's disappointing.
All
Anyway,
right, we'll leave it up to it. If they want me 5K, we'll run 5K goal, but I can't do it all on night though.
hey, Turtle, you
I'll have to
can't
be
be
over the week.
Turtle said you'll be negative 6Ks this week.
Oh,
I think we will too. I'll be doing victory lap this week, mate. Victory.
All right, let's get
do it
into
around
it,
Marvel.
boys.
Do it around Marvel.
First game, all the way back on Thursday night, which I'm loving this year for the record.
Love
Um,
Thursdays.
this was a good game, Adelaide and Geelong.
Oh, it was a great game.
That was a heater, but then yeah, I liked it.
And then
It was good.
Bit of emotion.
Do you know what I loved? The fact that Jeremy Cameron actually sat in the forward line. He wasn't up in defence getting cheap possessions. He was where he was going to impact the game forward.
I think you took that, Tassie, because he was up in defence. That's his role. He comes up and then he loses his defender coming back. They're not cheap possessions. That's how he gets goals.
Yeah.
Having a look at his...
Charlie Kerner does the same thing, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't.
Charlie Kerno never move the
doesn't
square.
defend.
He gets free kicks in the square. That's how he kicks goals.
I was looking at his player map the other day, and he had barely any disposals in the back half of the ground,
Didn't have any disposals. Was still there.
but didn't have disposals. The week before, he had most of his disposals in the back half.
But that's how he plays, though. He
That's-
loses players on the way back through. If they want to use him, they want to use him.
Yeah, because I was also listening to David King, because I like listening to First Crack, and they were saying that same thing. He shouldn't be that far back.
Oh, I reckon that's how he plays. I reckon he kicks a lot of goals losing defenders. That's just me. I like the way he plays. I reckon more forwards should play like that. I wish Larky would get up and play like that.
I just think
Larky's
he's more when he's not. That's all.
yeah, that's right.
So that's
I
all.
like
That's
the
what
way he
it is.
plays. I like the way he plays. But it was a good game. Huge game. Two cracking teams. Adelaide going down was a bit disappointing for gather round.
Yeah.
But it was a cracking game of footy.
It was disappointing that Thilthorpe didn't really step up and play the way he had been, especially with a depleted defence from Geelong. But Fogarty popped up with 4. Taylor Walker, he's still very important to their forward
Yes,
line.
he is. Well, having those four big key forwards is doing the wonders this year. So
Absolutely, it is. In saying that, I don't really think they've beaten anyone that's a premiership threat yet.
Oh well, you just remember that later.
Okay, I'm intrigued now.
I don't think they have either. I agree with you there.
Bailey Smith looks at home for the
yeah,
Cats.
he does. He looks good.
Elite, mate.
He's dominating, and Patrick Dangerfield, he's now got the flexibility to go mid or forward. It doesn't matter, but he had a huge impact on the game as well.
Turning back the clock, old Dangerfield.
Some of the older players are. Look at Sidebottom for Collingwood.
Oh, mate, 32, and he's getting best on.
He's been outstanding.
Or 34, should I say? Actually,
He has been this year. I still think Collingwood. We'll talk about them when we get to them game. But yes, no, has been outstanding.
Yeah, it's been huge.
so speaking of the Collingwood game, are we there yet, or?
I'm getting there.
We'll just
going to catch up on chat.
All right, catch up there, mate.
So we got here Michael Craig. Cameron played forward more than normal. Thank you. I thought so. Tiger time. Crows defense has been leaking a few high scores against them as of late. I get the Crows are a high scoring side, but at times against the Cats, their defense has been a bit shaky.
Yeah.
I
with that.
don't think that's just against Geelong. They are the highest scoring, but they are the worst defending.
Correct.
So if you can score, they will let points through. Their defense doesn't do a lot of defending. It's very attacking.
Who was it they played the other week? Was it Essendon or something? Or was it 160 to 100? Or was it someone else?
It's every week. They leak points every week against every team they play.
So they need to tighten that up if they want to. If they still need to be able to kick a winning score, but they need to be able to defend properly if they're going to be a real threat for the flag.
Well, Gold Coast 91. We've got North Melbourne 78. These are high scores letting in by North Melbourne. You can't let them kick that many. Essendon 100. They kicked 160.
Yep.
And then round 1, St Kilda 72. They kicked 170 though, but their high scores letting in. They say premierships let in about 60.
Yeah.
You want to average about 50, 60.
Correct. So it's definitely something they can work on though. It's still early.
And then
Still
Cats
early.
119. So you can kick a score against them.
And if you can, then you're always going to be in the game.
But that's because of defenders like Hinge, Laird. Their defenders like to run attack.
Yep.
And set up goals. So you're going to be able to kick the other way.
They're just aggressive. That's all it is. They're very
Yeah.
aggressive on the field. So, all right, Iggy, you bring us into the Pies game, mate.
All right, Collingwood Sydney. It was a good game. It was a long time ago. I've watched too many games since then, but
Yeah, I can't really remember. What happened, Eggy? Just let us know.
oh, it's just a win, just another win on the board.
Just another win to Collingwood.
Over last year's grand finalists. That's all. I
Yep,
love to
you
hear Turtles.
You reckon this lid's off?
I don't reckon the lid's off. I reckon like this week will be their biggest test. I reckon.
Their
Gotta borrow
biggest
these,
test.
mate.
I reckon. I don't think you need to borrow them. I don't think the lid's off. I said, and we'll talk about this more later, but I said they had the hardest run. It's turned out they've had the easiest run of the AFL so far, going on form of teams.
Have they?
They've, yes, I think they've had very, very easy wins, and we will see next week. This will come up later. We've got a little secret question I've heard, but they did look good. Sidebottom looked good. Pendlebury looked good. All their old stars.
Even Nick Dacos looked good with the tag. You weren't impressed.
It looked good.
He wasn't huge, but I'd say Pendlebury and Sidebottom were better.
He was also playing. It was also playing a bit of a selfless role, Dacos.
Yeah,
yes,
he was.
Yeah, which is great.
But selfless role and still had all the ball. That's it. You could say,
and that's the weird thing. He wasn't damaging with the ball, but he was still doing the little handballs in and out.
So he's more McRae role, if we look at it like that.
But beating Dogs and Port.
So you look at that. Port's terrible.
Dogs, are they though?
Half
they beat the premiership favourites. They fucking drenched
now,
them.
We'll talk about this in a minute, because I've had a lot of arguments about this. They were hungover by. Look what they did in the second half. They nearly won the games. 54 points down in the final quarter. They got within 3.
They also beat Carlton.
If Carlton's not a friend. All right, so I can talk about this all day long. Bulldogs. All right, we'll talk about it when we get the question later. But I think Sydney were very disappointed, but I do think Collingwood were good.
Do you want to lead this one?
Yeah, you should lead it, Todd. You should lead it, Todd.
I can lead this. North Melbourne got pumped by Gold Coast. I don't mind this one because Gold Coast. I actually got started early on the running for this one, so 3/4 time I started doing laps. We were about 4 kilometres deep by the time North had lost, so it was pretty easy. I got halfway through it.
I'm just going to catch up on chat. Is that what you were going to do before, Eggy?
No, I wasn't. No, I was just going to introduce Todd to the game.
The new game.
Tiger time, not once have the Crows had a score against them of 70 or lower. Yep, that's exactly right. Baggers, welcome, mate. You said evening, lads. Tiger Time's got Pies winning streak at Adelaide Oval continues. Collingwood's pressure and turnover game looks good against Sydney. And then Turtle, Collingwood beat Lions both times last year and currently third hardest team to score against, which Brisbane are lacking forwards.
Well, are they though? Or just
lacking forwards.
Eric Hipwood just turns on 4 in the last quarter.
And then Sydney to me against Collingwood looked fragile at times.
Yeah, I think Collingwood have got very lucky with Sydney, Bulldogs, Port Adelaide when they've played. All those teams have looked big. Not saying Collingwood isn't playing well, but
yeah,
they are playing very well. But I think they're still pretenders.
Absolutely. Sorry, mate. Keep going with the North game.
Oh, I forgot where I was.
Start again.
My boy Matty Rao. We've got 141 to 89. My boy Matty Rao turned one on. I know it's hard to say that, but he's my boy. We all know he's my boy. Broke us open in the fourth quarter. Just I'll put this question out though: is Clarko safe, boys? If Adam Simpson looming in the background there, do you boys think Clarko is safe?
I back Clarko.
I don't. I think his excuses are getting a bit tiresome.
Realistically, this is his second season with a full preseason because he was suspended for a bit.
Realistically, how long can you keep saying we're getting there in a press conference? That's what he's used for the last 23 games.
You guys,
we're on the way. We're getting there. We're on the way.
It takes time, mate. It takes time. You can't do a
explain that
every 5 months.
I know you can't say him, but you've got one waiting in the links. That's, I don't know. I just don't think he explains his game plan good enough or shows the game plan on the field. At the moment, it's if we beat their team, if we beat them out of the middle, sort of attacking, that's the game plan. Once that stops, there's nothing else. It's if we don't win middle, that's it. Also, I'll put this out there because this really annoyed me. We had 9 centre clearance in the first quarter. We kicked 2 goals from it. Gold Coast kicked 5 goals from direct midfield turnovers.
Yeah, is that Clarko's fault though?
Where was the move though? Because I watched this game, long ball out of the middle, mark from Noble happened 3 times. Where was the move to say get in front of your player? Like it's a pretty easy coaching decision, if I can say it. It's a pretty easy one to make. Play in
True.
front.
True.
Where's the
Very
word go?
true.
I don't know. That's just my little vent. How'd you boys see the game?
I thought
You
North
probably
looked
didn't
up
watch
and-
it because you were on the other game.
No, I watched bits and pieces of it. North looked like they were good up until 3/4 time. I thought Caleb Daniel was good. It was good to see Fisher back in the side for you guys. I thought he had a pretty good game across halfback. Yeah, like nothing outstanding, but I'm still really bullish on Gold Coast, even though they technically haven't beaten anyone good yet.
Well, they can go in the same category as Collingwood as pretenders so far.
Well, I think
Although Adelaide, at least they've bet a premiership side. Well, premiership favourite.
Well, yeah, and I could say because Collingwood beat Bulldogs too, so I put Bulldogs and Adelaide in the same category.
Yep. And
Yeah,
Sydney. I
but
put Sydney
they
in there
built
too.
a limping Bulldogs. We can't have Sydney there. They're 1-4.
But yeah,
they're 2 and 4,
overall,
aren't they?
It's like
Yeah.
Melbourne should be in that category as well, but
No
you
one even
can't
won a
put them
game
in
yet.
there because they're 0-4 exactly, and you can't put Carlton in that category because they're 1-4.
not yet, mate.
But-
All right, not yet. Tiger Time here has. I actually thought it was a rather entertaining game between North and Gold Coast for the majority of the match, but North just lost steam at the end. And then Brooks Scott, it was a great gather round. Absolutely.
It was a great gather round.
Ooh, we'll
Absolutely.
talk about that. I didn't like it.
And welcome, Brooke.
Welcome, Brooke.
All right, next game.
No, that last quarter was a bit one-sided, and they blew us out of the water. Kicked about 40
They just put the foot
points,
in.
I think, in the last quarter. It's good to see. It's good to see Gold Coast going well.
It is good to see.
It is. It really is. And my second favourite until Tassie comes in. So, all right, we'll move on now to the Blue Baggers. I thought it was a scrappy first half, extremely scrappy from both teams. Second half, it was nice to see Carlton not fade away, but that was just witches' hats.
You know, I tried to watch a replay of this game. It
No.
couldn't do it. It was, I couldn't do it. I got halfway through the first quarter and thought, no, this is done.
Not even the mini? Not even
No, couldn't watch anything. It was like they were playing witches' hats. It was like they were playing against a third side. I won't even say reserve side. It was like they were playing against a third side. To not touch the ball that much.
No, not at all. And I've got to say, Harley Reid's checked out.
Oh, he's gone. He's out. Like he wants to be traded. I think Oscar Allen wants to be traded. I think they've got a few internal issues going now, and they made a mistake drafting him.
I agree with that.
Never drafted him because he was never going to stay.
No. Do West Coast win a game?
Well, that's the big worry
Yes.
we've got on now. I'm not as confident as Eggy who they beat.
Melbourne.
Carlton was maybe Melbourne, but Carlton playing how they have been, they should have beat them if they had any chance.
Maybe even Richmond.
Oh, I don't know.
Tigers got the lids are off for Richmond Orange and Taz. Don't know if you saw
And
this.
Taz, lids are off. But yeah, they were very disappointing. That game was just unremarkable.
It was. Anthony actually has a really good point here. The most unconvincing 71-point win I've ever seen. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And then Calzo's got Carlton v West Coast, worst game of the round.
Mate, I could nearly go season.
I would not watch a replay.
Yeah, I could nearly go worst game of the season, and that's just purely on the effort, the lack of effort I've seen.
I just hope that this gives the boys a bit of confidence because they did move the ball well last quarter. They really did. I just hope they can do that moving forward. I'm not confident.
Yeah, and you will see if they back it up against North Melbourne and get a bit more flow in their game and beat North Melbourne convincing, then you can throw your lid at me, mate, next week. Well, no, they need to do it 2 in a row.
I'll do it out in the game.
Yeah, need to look at. I won't be there if we're losing at 3/4 time. Don't be silly.
He's going to start his
I'm
run.
going. I'm off running laps around
Marvel Stadium.
We'll be looking around to be on the field as the water boy running.
I've run around the 400 metres.
All right, we'll keep moving on, guys. So it's Bulldogs and Lions. I actually liked this game.
It was a great game. Bulldogs got way out in front, and then Brisbane just keep getting it done.
Brisbane are just they're like in first gear. And
Yeah.
that's that scary thing to say, but they have another 5 years to kick into, and they're beating teams comfortably in the second half.
It's like
They just
Sydney last year when they were getting like 40 points behind, 50 points behind, and then they just turned it on and just run away with it.
We'll
they,
just
they
we'll,
just
we'll beat them when we have to. That's
they
it.
just want to give themselves a bit of a challenge. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I just think it's too easy for them, and
It is.
they're just like, we'll show up when we have to, and we'll just rest until finals.
And this is where Eric Hipwood does himself no favors, though, because he can play very, very well, but he's just so inconsistent.
He kicks 5 goals in a quarter, mate. Look at
That's what I mean. He could be a dominant key forward. He's just not. He just doesn't do it week in, week out, which is really disappointing.
I
So
think their forward line's gone the way of the smalls, though.
a lot of forward lines have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the new style. You have one or maybe two key forwards, and then you've got all the smalls around them.
Oh, the smalls. Is that what Carlton's lacking? Because they've axed all their smalls.
No, we've
That
only
could
really
be a new
had
concept.
that actually made us look better in the second half when we had no Mackay and Kemp, to be honest,
Yeah.
and only Curnow. But
That's
it
what I
doesn't-
mean. You've traded away your small forwards when you probably should have kept a few of them.
No, we got plenty.
Got plenty.
We're not talking about Carlton. We're talking about these.
No, but I'll just bring it up while we're talking about it. I thought that could be a little cheeky one. But Brisbane look amazing. And
They
we're
do.
saying this. I think they've got to be the flag favourites now after Hawthorn's disappointing after the bye round.
And I reckon there's a sneaky Brownlow smoky in Hugh McCluggage. He's
Ooh.
having an outstanding season so far.
Have you heard of a man called Lockie Neal who polls 30 votes every year, mate?
Mc-
It's
he
not
polls
going.
when- he
it's
polls when he
not
gets
gonna
10
happen.
touches.
And
Yeah,
then,
but it's
and
not
then we
gonna
got the
happen.
Norm Smith medalist Bill Ashcroft creeping in there too. They might
But
take
I
a couple as well.
don't think they're going to take votes off of Neil's going to get votes every week. So you're
Yeah.
fighting for twos and ones every week.
Which is disappointing because McCluggage has actually been better this year.
But what
Not
about
better than
was
Neil
it
though.
Yeah.
Zorko or Dunkley that's doing really well as
Exactly. Sorko off the halfback. It's
Look at
too
that.
hard. It's too hard when you're in a premiership winning team to win a Brownlow.
I do
Cripps
agree.
last week
Yeah.
won it on a Muppet team.
and then you get Eric
Oh,
Hipwood
yeah.
come out and kick 5 too. He's going to take a couple of votes there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's going to be a hard team to win it in Brisbane.
Brody's got it's what Carlton needed. Fully agree with that. Anthony says leave Walsh on a wing. Thanks. Yeah, he had a fantastic game. Tiger time. Who knows what it might be like if Brizzy plays 4 quarters of footy? They would just demolish.
That'd be
them.
scary. It was like Sydney last year. Just bang. They turn one on.
Turtle Hipwood won't kick 5 for another 4 games exactly, and then he'll
and
still
that's-
average a goal a game.
And that's the 4 games combined too.
That's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to.
Tiger time. It was crazy because at some stage the Lions' chances of winning was skinny. Comes to show what it could look like when Brizzy finds momentum, and then Kelso, how good is Levi Ashcroft?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
He's
He's
fantastic.
warming up. He's warming up. He's probably called. Can he win the Rising Star?
Yep.
Yes. So I think he's probably favourite by $1.10 at the
It'd be
moment.
out of him and Layla, but I think Layla's had too many games.
Yeah, he has.
But
Talking
you look at
about
the-
Brent. Oh,
I was going to say, you look at the father sons that Brisbane have got, though. They've got the 2 Ashcroft boys and Fletcher.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Collingwood's done the
qualities.
same, mate. They're
Hey.
coming in too. Collingwood done the same. That's what happens. You get a couple of father sons and you look good.
Yeah, well, also dogs as well with Sam Darcy. He's just
Yeah.
a beast.
And West.
Dottore.
And West.
Riley West.
And West, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's good.
So now talking about the Brownlow, we've probably got the Brownlow medal favourite in the next game. We had Essendon versus
Zach Merritt.
Melbourne. Zachy Merritt has got to be on like 11 votes after 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, he'd be my pick at the moment.
Like he's flying along. So were Essendon on this night. They had a little scare in the third quarter, but then just put the foot down.
Yeah. Well, Merritt, I don't think he's got under 30 disposals this season, has he?
No, he's flying along, kicking goals. He's
Yeah.
he's got to be the favourite at the moment.
He's just unreal. I didn't watch much of this game, to be honest, so I can't say too much. Did you boys?
Oh, I watched most of it.
I tried to, and then I just got distracted by
Is it-
watching TikToks instead because it was that that fun of a game.
Oh, you didn't like? I thought it was a killer game. I thought there was a lot going on.
I don't know.
There's got to be issues
Yeah.
at Melbourne, though. There has to be issues behind the scenes. They still
Well,
haven't replaced their-
Pedraka looked good. Looked very good. And then
It was messy with his disposal, though.
Messi, but you get that sometimes. But he looked very, very good. He was there. He was attacking. He was busting out the stoppages. I think Oliver's still a bit off. And Gorn was back to his absolute bullish best.
That battle was pretty good from what I saw between Draper and Gorn.
Yeah,
That was a good battle out of the middle.
they both just doing their own thing,
Yeah,
clearing balls.
yeah, it's good. And our favourite, Sammy Durham, just getting better and better.
Sammy Durham, yeah, just exploding out of that middle. Melbourne trouble though, boys. Like 0-4,
Yeah.
0-5.
But there's still, I said it before, I don't know if you heard me though, but they've still got no president from when he resigned last year.
Oh, haven't they?
Nah.
Right, so that's not a good thing. I don't think they'll have a coach at the end of the season. I think they'll
Maybe
be
he'll
losing
become the president.
Petrarca at the end of the season. I think Petrarca's got to walk. He's not happy there. I don't think they can keep him.
Well,
They might
well,
as
I
well
think
get currency while
I
they
think he
can.
tried. Him and Clayton Oliver tried to walk the last 2 years, but they said no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think if you've got to get a fresh start now. What's the point of holding these two players when you can get currency for them now? You're obviously not going to win a flag in the next couple of years because you're
Well,
playing
they're going to lose.
cheaply.
They're going to lose Pickett as well. Just see he's got rid of his South Australian manager and picked up someone over in WA.
Has he?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
that was,
they're in a lot of trouble, and I think they need to just start a new rebuild. They've got the flag out of this. Get as many picks as you can. Get as many kids as you can get in before Tassie come in.
Yeah. Brody's got, not when it comes to Salvani, talking about father sons. Tiger time, Melbourne's forward line looked poor for the majority of the game. For the
It
majority
has for about 10 years.
Yeah, it has. Kind of strange though that it was the 20th time in 20 years that Melbourne and Essendon have faced off against each other.
I'll only play once a season. Is that what
Once
he's
a
saying?
year. Yep. Yeah,
Do you know
Never
what
met
I
each other in
heard?
finals because Essendon's never made a final.
Do you know what I heard the other day? And you guys are going to absolutely laugh at this. So Harley, who did Collingwood play? It was
Sydney.
So it was one of Sydney's second year players. I can't remember who they said, but has played at more grounds than Pendlebury has.
Yes, I heard that.
Pendlebury has played how many games, and he's played at 7 grounds.
It was I don't think it was a Collingwood player. I think it was someone Cleary or Keary.
Yeah, it was Sydney. No, it was Sydney. Cleary, Nathan Cleary. Oh, it might have been Melbourne or something, but he's played at more grounds after like 40 games than
23 games.
23 games. Is it then Pendlebury's played at like 400 games.
It makes sense.
It just shows that Collingwood they get a disadvantage everywhere. They don't travel. They don't play at Tasmania. They don't play at Alice Springs. They don't play at Darwin. They don't play at Bendigo. They don't play anywhere. They play at MCG. And if you're lucky, you might get them at West once.
No, you need the stadiums hold over 50K. Otherwise, it's not worth them going there, mate. It's not our fault that we sell.
It is your fault. It shows how unfair and Collingwood bias this comp is.
It's because they make them too much money.
You look at the other big clubs. West Coast goes to Tasmania. They'd make more money sitting in MCG rather than West Coast.
Come on.
You look at Brisbane, Sydney, Richmond. They all travel. It's Collingwood's the only one that does not travel.
Melbourne v Freo or something. They only had 6,000 turn up to the game.
Yeah, Melbourne don't travel. But you get Richmond. Richmond go to Tasmania. Richmond go to Alice Springs. Richmond do that. They sell out the MCG every week too. Essendon, they sell out the MCG every week, but those teams still travel.
All right, enough with your Collingwood hate. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, I didn't mean to start it tonight, but I heard that during the game and I thought it was funny, and I think it's
we were past the Collingwood game.
We were not. We're back.
I thought it was obvious. It's because we sell too many seats, mate.
Yeah, but so do other
clubs. It's
not
our fault that we make money. We make the club money.
Keep moving on, boys. Come on. Far out.
I just don't like it.
You just don't like it.
That might have changed the controversial call. We might put 2 in.
Okay. All right, Richmond Freo.
Pretty dead game, I thought.
It didn't.
First quarter was okay, and then Freo just put the foot down.
I was out all day, so I didn't get to see many games. I did watch bits and pieces of the Hawthorn game. The first 2 quarters, I was at Haley's Brothers for dinner, and then come home and watch the 3rd quarter, and then I fell asleep on the 4th quarter. I missed the best parts.
Yeah, look, Richmond were right, and then Freo just, like you said, put the foot down. But it was good to see some of the young guys from Richmond again really start to step up and show what they're going to be able to do in a couple of years.
And they're starting to show that, unlike West Coast. West Coast young kids are just they look like they've paused and don't want to be there, where Richmond look like they're playing free-flowing football in a quarter of football, look like they want to be there, they want to fight for the club, and then getting blown away late.
I'm just laughing at Turtle's comment.
Me too.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
That's all right.
So for those that haven't seen it, it's first of all, Tiger Time's got North and Richmond will be Tassie for a change, and then you've got Turtle. Moisty's tears are even more delicious with him worried about losing the bet now.
No,
And
there's no worry about that.
And Tigers got, well, that was a poor second half, to be honest, in the Richmond Freo game, from my point of view. It was. You guys sort of fell away. Fremantle put the foot down. But there are good signs. And like we said last week, or we've been saying all season, you've got to look for those green shoots, as they used to say, an old coach of ours. But it will come together. And I think you've got the right guy in charge.
Yeah.
And those for those that don't know, the bet is whoever's not in the 8 when Hawthorn play Collingwood the second time, whichever team's not in the 8, the other one has to wear the corresponding dress of the other team. So I'll wear Collingwood, he'll wear Hawthorn.
That's right. That's right.
To the game.
George has here, Pies may as well get their players push bikes the amount of travelling they do. Stop with the Collingwood hate.
It's not hate, it's facts. It is
all right.
absolute truth.
They don't even get to come home. They go straight from Adelaide straight to the Gold Coast.
Marvel. They've complained when they had to go to Marvel the other day.
There's got too many people
If
standing
they go
on the
to
outside trying
Geelong,
to get in.
no, we're not going to Geelong. We're having it at the MCG, and they
Stop.
force Geelong to come up the road.
Stop it. All right, Andrew Brayshaw and Caleb Sarong, they're starting to really hit their straps in the midfield, which is good to see. And Jordan Clark across halfback. He's been a little bit off this year, but he's starting to play really well there too. Josh Tracy, 6 goals. Monster.
Yeah.
Absolute monster. So he's playing real well this season. Now, that was sort of about it. The only incident that I really remember from this game was Patrick Voss collecting Nick Loston. And I believe I read this afternoon that he's got 3 weeks for that collect. So,
for hitting the umpire, they actually gave him weeks.
No, not the umpire. Nick Loston from Richmond.
Oh,
I think
so
he
the umpire hit got nothing?
Or maybe it was for the umpire contact. I'm not actually sure.
Because when he was coming back, I think he KO'd an umpire.
Turtle, I'm not reading that out. We're done with Collingwood.
It's right.
Okay, Turtle,
I'll
read it out. Here's the fact. Collingwood only get 9 home games at the G, 2 against teams that don't share the ground. So the least home ground advantage in the entire league. That's a fact. It is not a fact, Turtle. That is a blatant lie. You play at your home ground 17 times this year.
Todd, do your research once we finish the show and post it up on Insta Story if you want.
They play at the MCG 17 times this week. I don't have to do it. I know it.
All right, next game. St Kilda Giants. I loved this game.
Tell me why.
Yeah, you don't just leave us on that one, mate.
I was hoping one of you would pick it up. No, it was good because St Kilda come out of the blocks firing. GWS really clamped it down towards the end of the first quarter, and then they started to just kick away slowly. St Kilda looked like they were going to get a bit of a run in on the fourth quarter. It didn't happen.
I think GWS are just too big, too strong. They're another one like Brisbane, just doing what they've got to. Apart from blowing Collingwood out in round 1, they haven't really blown other teams out.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got the win. They're pretty quick, pretty fast. They're much like Hawthorn, only a bit more experienced.
I love the look of Lockie Ash across that half-back line. Him and Whitfield, if one, like usually it's Whitfield that's getting all the disposals, but this year it's actually both of them getting off the chain.
They're both just linking up well together, which is what you need. You need a good half-back line that's willing to run. You are going to leak scores the other way, but if you're scoring more, you don't have to worry about leaking scores.
No, exactly.
I'm really liking Darcy Jones. I reckon he's picked up his game the last couple of weeks.
Mate, he's a freak.
We've got Calzo, sorry. Todd Pies played 14 games at the G this season. It might have been 17 games in Melbourne.
Oh, no.
That means they play at Marvel.
Marvel 3 times, yeah.
Yeah.
What were we saying? Yeah, Darcy Jones, his sidestep in traffic is fantastic. And he's so quick.
He's very quick, it's another thing, those small, quick players, they help you. The forwards, they get up, they get back. That's what Hawthorn has a lot of. And just the pace.
Isn't it good now that size doesn't matter when it comes to AFL? They're actually seeing benefits for massive guys and tiny guys. I think it's
smaller ones. Yeah, it's good. And our midfielders are getting to 193, so our small forwards can be any height now.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller definitely increased his pay packet from his game on the weekend.
I think he's going home, though. I don't think he's staying at St Kilda.
I don't think so, especially if Port are going to lose Bergman. He'd be favourite to go to there. for a
Yeah.
replacement. And that's a huge upgrade on Bergman, no disrespect.
It is not a huge upgrade on Bergman. He's an absolute freak.
I think Nas is
You
better.
need to watch more football, my friend.
I've seen him play. I think Nas's
Bergman is an
disposal.
absolute shit. They're
I
both
think,
good in their own way.
yeah, I think Nas's disposal's better. That's my thoughts.
Bergman's overhead's better though. In
True,
the contest.
very true. Different types of players, but
Yep.
very argumentative tonight,
Oh,
Moisty.
I am, mate. I'm very fired up. You fired me up with this Collingwood hate, and I was thinking I just kept going with it.
I think you have to go to the AFL though. I'm pretty sure the AFL signed a contract that Collingwood have to have 15 games at the G.
Yeah, I come up with that. It's not at the G. That's finals.
6 games outside Nick.
So it's at the finals. There's got to be one big Melbourne club have a final every year or something. So it's normally Collingwood. So that's why Geelong end up there most of the time.
Yeah.
All right, last game of the round.
And whoa, didn't Port Adelaide catch Hawthorn on the back foot?
I think it was more. I'm going to call this. I reckon it was the bye.
I reckon that they come in too confident and they weren't ready for it.
That's what I reckon too.
Yeah, too relaxed after the bye.
They thought they had it at home and hose, coming out to fiend, just cruising, just chilling.
It was just going to happen.
Yeah.
But I don't think this says anything bad about Hawthorn. I just think,
we'll see.
As you were saying, they weren't ready. They lacked polish. We'll see next week on Easter Monday.
Yeah.
That'll be a good test.
Be a great game.
And Port had to win this. They had to come in fired. They were upset last week. Disappointing last week, so they were coming in. Tassie's flying, getting the ticket. They were good. Horn Francis starting to shine, starting to be a bit of a bull out the middle, kick goals.
And do you reckon, like with Will Day out too? Do you reckon that's made a lot more of the impact?
I don't think that's what hurt them. I really think they were just underprepared, and the bye, they were too relaxed coming in. Byes hurt teams. Hurt teams, especially young teams. When you get a bit of run on, you just think it's natural. Don't train for a week, or maybe have a couple of days off because you're not playing. And soft.
The margin was out to 71 points though, so they clawed it right back.
Yeah.
But last quarter, I think it was 54 starting that, and they got it back to within 18 before they got one of those free calls, which was controversial. I'm pretty sure the AFL changed that rule at the start of the year, saying that the free kick goes to the middle of the ground now instead of giving away double goals.
That I'm not too sure of, but it's interesting. And do you know what? It was good to see Jack Gunston kick 6. He kept them in it for a lot of that game.
Kept them alive.
Or got him back into it, I should say. Willie Rioli, I saw a comment from him. He absolutely hates Hawthorn. Yeah. Not just because of, he doesn't hate the players. He hates the club.
Yeah, because of his brother and that.
Yeah, his uncles and dad. And just crazy. I didn't expect someone to come out like that. But overall, it was a good fight back from the Hawks. But next week's really going to test them.
It's going to test it, man. That's what we'll see. We'll see if Port Adelaide next week. They've got Sydney up in Sydney. We'll see how they go. If they drop that one there,
they'll drop
and say they were all hyped up, I'm pretty sure they'll get up because Sydney's in all sorts at the moment.
Sydney covered.
You reckon? And then Geelong Hawthorn on Easter Monday. It's going to be huge. If they drop 2, we'll start getting worried.
Yeah.
What about the free kicks in the second half? It was 12-0 in the second half of the game.
We see that every week at North Melbourne, just because you guys don't cop this. Turtle posted in the chat today, North Melbourne's had 130, I think it was, free kicks against, the highest in the AFL this year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just going to catch up on chat a bit here, boys. So, Tiger time, at some point, I thought this would be like Port versus Sydney at Adelaide Oval.
See, they've done it before. They've jumped the team at the start when they're unprepared. And they do, like I said, we said the other week, that they play 3 times better in Adelaide.
Yeah, just flat track boys, and they play better at home.
Kenny Hinkley gave the Port boys a fierce message heading into that match. Brooks got LOL flying. Turtles got Hawks are cooked without the umpires. Brooks always thought the Hawks would come back. We did mention that too. We did think that they were going to come back at some stage. Tiger, at one point, the free kick count in the second half was 12-0. That's right. And then I used to see that sort of free kick count a lot back in the past with Richmond.
Yeah, we're copping it at North Melbourne at the moment.
All right. That's the round review done.
Beautiful.
So there were some pretty good games there, boys. Pretty exciting.
There was a bit of an upset there, that Port Adelaide over Hawthorn, but I know someone in chat picked it right.
Oh, interesting.
It definitely wasn't me.
Nor me.
All right, so let's get the tips for next week, boys. We've got probably game of the round if you listen to a few supporters in the channel. Brisbane Collingwood.
Nah, the next game will be the game of the round, wouldn't it? But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the least game of the round. This is probably the most exciting game of the round.
Brisbane
One of the two. This and Monday, and maybe even Saturday,
Yeah.
GWS Adelaide.
I think it's going to be. I
Yeah,
think
very,
it's going to be some
very
good
hot
games this
round.
weekend.
Big
Now,
games.
the way they're travelling, I've got Brisbane doing this easy, but looking like they're not doing it easy in first gear.
Yeah, well, it's going to be like when West Coast had to jump on them in Brisbane and they just ran over the top. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be something similar to that. But
And Collingwood don't like the heat either.
yeah, I don't know what
We learnt that round one. It'll be hot up there.
But even though it was warm on the weekend, but because we played at night, see, we're playing again at night. So
well,
we'll
you're
right.
playing again at night, so you don't know.
So we'll be right.
But I'm on Brisbane here, and Brisbane by 15.
But you say that when I lived in Queensland, they get so many Collingwood supporters up there. Like it's kind of like the crowd's going to be 50-50 up there.
It's definitely going to be 50-50 up there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sorry,
You boys got a tip now. I've tipped. Now you boys have got a tip. We can't just go off my tip.
Oh, I'm going the Pies. I'm going the Pies.
Yeah.
Can't go without them.
I'm
not confident at all.
I've gone Brisbane because it's at the Gabba.
Yeah.
Oh, then we've got the class where we have us plus, I think, 10 or 11 supporters coming to the footy with us.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I think we've got about 12 or 13 people coming in. Well, I now have 12 North Melbourne memberships to get us in there.
Number one ticket holder.
Number one ticket holder. I've got 12 memberships. So just to get us all in the footy was easier than trying to find tickets any other way.
I think it's cheaper.
It was it was 110% cheaper and easier.
That's because it's North. So I'm obviously going
North. You know, we're donating that money to Good Friday too.
Actually,
it's like $15 or $20 per ticket goes to Good Friday.
Yes, and I think it's such a good cause. I just realised I'm looking at my tips now. I've actually tipped North Melbourne.
Oh, what a smart man! I've got North Melbourne, but not with any confidence. But I think I'm more confident this week than I have been all season.
With all the hate I'm feeling on tonight's show, I'm leaning towards Carlton.
He's tipped off. He's backed off.
Tiger Time's gone Brizzy in the first one, Carlton in the second, and I'll read theirs out as we keep going.
Have you realised, though, we're going with 12. We have 2 Collingwood, 8 Carlton, and me, lone old North Melbourne.
All right, we'll keep moving. So, Eagles and Essendon, I think we can all assume we're going Essendon.
Yeah, it's going Essendon for that one.
Bombers.
Yeah, Tiger Time's the same. Melbourne Freo.
Oh, Freo again, I think. It's pretty obvious. I think the way Melbourne's playing, unless they turn it around a lot, and there's no home ground advantage because they don't travel. Melbourne fans don't come out.
I've gone Freo. We'll be lucky to get 10K at this game.
Yeah, Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Oh, geez, upset of the season.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Adelaide GWS.
I've got the Giants flying high.
Giants.
I've gone Crows.
There's a big sound.
Bounce back.
Big sound from the west of the town.
Tiger Time's gone Essendon Freo GWS. So far.
Then we've got the next game. We've got Richmond Gold Coast. I'm pretty confident on Gold Coast here. I think that midfield is probably nearly the best in the comp at the moment.
I think they're versing another bottom 4 team, so they'll win.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bit of hate from Gold Coast there. What do you reckon they haven't beat anyone yet?
Sydney Port.
Who was that?
This was a tough game.
This is a tough one to hit because they've both shown signs in the games they've won. They've been good, but in the rest of them, they've been absolutely terrible.
Yep.
Being in Sydney, I'm going to go Sydney just because I think they'll show up.
I have gone with Port Adelaide.
You were saying before, Todd, you were saying Port Adelaide.
Yeah, I know, but I think I'm on Sydney just because it's up
Sydney.
there, but I'm not sure. I don't think it depends which side shows up. Port shows up, they win. If Sydney shows up, they win. If they both show up, it's a coin flip. They can both not show up either.
I may change mine between now and then, but at this stage, I've gone Port.
Now another electric game is going to be Bulldogs St Kilda, both around that mid pack, striving to make finals, and they're both playing very hard football.
And we're all waiting to see who the ins and outs are going to be for the Bulldogs. I know
it could be a bit of Bontempelli in there.
Oh, I think it's too early for him.
Too early, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yep, way too early. I think he's still another 3 weeks away.
3 weeks away. Ouch. That hurts the Brownlow shot.
Yeah. Oh, he won't win it this year.
Nah.
No chance. I've gone Saints for this one. I think
I've
they're
gone Bulldogs.
I think they're in real good form. I mean, dogs are too, but I just think Saints are better at the moment.
Yeah, such a coin flip this one. I'm leaning towards the Saints. I'm on the fence, but I'm picking Saints now. But I may jump ship halfway once I see the names of teams.
All right, so then we've got probably the game of the round. I'll call this one the game of the round because it's going to be absolutely electric on Easter Monday, Geelong versus Hawthorn. I think this is going to be probably the game of the season. I think it's going to be a hard hit contest. Hawthorn to bounce back for me. Yeah, both a lot of hate in this game. This is going to be exciting. This is what they strive for. This is like Anzac Day for them every year. They're here on Easter Monday, but I've got Hawthorn winning this one.
I'm spewing Artie's not in chat, so I know how much he loves the Hawks and how much he hates Geelong. So that's
yeah. I messaged him last night, free kick Hawthorn when they were 12-0, and he was like, "You're joking, aren't you?" I was like, "What?" Yeah, I've got Hawks. What are you going, Egg?
I'm going Geelong.
Geelong.
Yep.
Geelong to finish it off.
Yep.
It could honestly go either way, though.
Right, that's a genuine coin flip. Whoever wins the coin flip at the start is probably most likely to win. That's how close this game is.
You've got the nursing home versus the kindergarten, so it's going to be interesting.
They're not the nursing home now. They're now the second oldest club in the.
No, they're the cemetery.
You say it's the game of the season, but I reckon Brisbane Hawthorn will be a good game, or even Brisbane Geelong will be a good game.
Yeah, it will be later, but season so far.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Tiger time went Gold Coast, Sydney, Bulldogs, Geelong. There's about 4 matches this round that I'll be second guessing, which I think we're evident with that as well.
Yep.
Could see North Adelaide Saints Hawthorn getting up. George Speechley's got Shame Taz. Yeah, I know. Kelzo's got Brisbane North Bombers, Freo, GWS Suns, Sydney Dogs Hawks. Ping's going for North because of you, Moisty.
Good man, Ping.
Tiger time, Porter inconsistent.
Oh, Ping's coming to the game too. So we've got two North supporters there.
He's Geelong. And then Brody's got Ping. Any reason to go against Carlton? I fully agree with that. And then Tiger time, Port for a fair period used to dominate the Swans though.
This is true.
Could go either way. All right, we're going to keep moving through because we are running out of time. Call. Moisty.
All right, we're back.
Get angry.
All right, we're back. This is going to be an angry one here. I've got fuck off to the AFL and Adelaide. Let's explore the country from now on. Okay, it's a good opportunity now. Tassie's coming into the comp. They've already signed Adelaide next year. Gather around, move to Tassie the year after, up to Sydney, up to Brisbane, over to South Australia, then go to West, then over to Northern Territory, go West, and then South Australia. I reckon we need to get out of Adelaide. You can't just keep favouring those clubs.
I think it was
the country.
I think it was to do 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row. Then they're going to rotate.
No, they're talking about 6-year extension on Sunday night at the game.
They're
trying to get a 6-year extension.
Because it's a big pump for the tourism there.
Yeah, absolutely. Big pump for South Australia, but they're talking about a 6-year extension. I think we need to back off, let them go. They've had it for 4. Yep. Give Tassie 1, give Sydney 1, give Brisbane 1, and just every year just rotate it. You can't.
Sydney, I don't mind. Brisbane, I don't mind. Maybe West Coast. I just don't think Tassie has the fields for it.
Well, it doesn't, but it's a good way to bring them into the comp.
And they're building the stadium.
They won't make enough money. Like whereas Adelaide Oval gets 50,000 people, and then the other.
Yeah, but they only play 3 games there.
4. Thursday night, there's Friday night, there's Saturday, and there's Sunday.
But it's not about. It's about bringing fans that don't see much football. So even if you say, but I only reckon that Tassie, because they're coming into the comp, will launch Tassie with a big round.
They were talking of doing that anyway. Plus, they've got to build the Tassie Stadium. So I think, didn't they say they've got to build the Tassie Stadium to hold 60,000?
No, it's only 25.
Oh, 25. I don't see them having it down there for a while, but I think they should.
They should, and I think it needs to move out of Adelaide. You can't have it at Adelaide every year. If they sign another 6-year, it might as well be called Adelaide Round, not Gather Round. We're not gathering to come together. We're gathering to see Adelaide.
I'd like to see Gather Round in Melbourne.
Melbourne's
it's every weekend, mate. It's every weekend.
We don't need. But that's what I reckon we need to explore it more. Get it over West, even if you do next year over West. Like get the players in the hub over
Turtle
in West.
The time zone, the 3-hour difference, it doesn't work.
It does work. It just the games will start earlier. Why?
Yeah, but
West Coast always watch their games at 5 o'clock when. Yeah, but if we're 7:30 over here, it's 5:30 over there. They watch their games in the afternoon. Why can't Melbourne put up with that for a week?
That's a great question, Brooke.
7:30 games at 10:30.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Why does Melbourne get the monopoly? Let's gather round, explore round. I think we need a move. I don't think we can re-sign Adelaide.
I think
Get it on the move, boys. Get it on the move.
Brooke says about the bye when Tassie comes in. I think it'll be like the NRL. A team has a bye every week.
That's what they're talking, and that's what they're worried about with gather round too, because one team's not going to be there every year.
Yeah. They're also going to have to make, or they might be able to work it where they have two teams have a bye on one weekend and then all of them play on gather round. Oh no, it doesn't work.
They can't all
It
play
doesn't
on
work.
gather round. There's 19 teams, Taz, but one's going to play twice, so they're going to have a three-way comp. There's going to be one miss it,
That'd be a
but
weird
then
oval.
maybe, and just hear me here, maybe the one that misses is the town you're at. Say you're at Tassie. Tassie doesn't play in the gather round. We get every other club there except Tassie.
No, I don't think that'll work.
You don't think it'll work?
No, think about playing in Adelaide with Port and Adelaide or one of them.
Yeah, true.
No, it doesn't work. All right, we'll keep moving on. Woo Girls Wowee.
All right, let's hear the Wowee.
Also, for those
just had a quick little intro there. You might have liked. I don't know if everyone saw it, but
I did not.
No, you probably wouldn't have seen it. But little Dacos with a big woo there. So
see, you messaged that. You did put that up.
I did put that up. But yeah, me and Taz had a bit of a debate yesterday because he called it a jumper. I'm like, it's not a fucking jumper. It's a Guernsey. And then I think Boise got on board as well and said it was a Guernsey. It wasn't a jumper.
Oh, I call it Jersey, but
Jersey's
the same thing.
Yep.
Just accents.
But it turns out we put the vote out to the to Instagram, and it comes back a 60% yes and a 40% no. I think half of those 40% is me as well.
Is you? That's right.
But everyone reckons it's a jumper, do they?
Yeah, well, technically, after I had a bit of a Google, Guernsey is a type of jumper. So.
If you see any local footy players or that, they call it jersey in the country, footy jersey.
Oh, when I played for
jersey.
Seymour, we used to call them jumpers.
I've never heard a jumper at a footy club ever, has he?
I've only heard of like a rugby jumper.
Yeah, terrible. I thought jumper was rugby, jersey was footy jersey.
What do you guys think in chat? Let us know while we keep moving through.
It's beautiful.
Jumper is fair. All right, last but not least, tipping.
We had a perfect round tipper, and I believe she is in chat. So $20 goes out to BJK1984, and I believe that is Brooke in chat.
Must be Brooke in chat. Welcome, Brooke. Congratulations.
Love it. Congratulations, Brooke. Please send us a message on Instagram.
Yes, and with your details and that, and I'll just I'll talk to you in there anyway, and we can tick off a few things and make sure you are who you say you are.
Yep, absolutely. But congratulations. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. I know it's your first time tuning in, but we've enjoyed having you in.
And we hope you hate Collingwood as much as we do.
What do you mean, wait?
Yeah, what are you talking about? I don't hate Collingwood.
Bit of Collingwood hate, everyone loves it.
All
right, now we've got my favourite segment, the viewer questions. We get to talk with you guys and answer a few of your questions. Take it away.
The ball here.
I'm trying to speed you up. She keeps.
You know what? I was about to finish the show.
If you had to scroll down on the schedule, eh?
I try to speed you up. You're talking real slow. I'm like, get into it, Tuzzy. Let's go.
I talk slow anyway. All right.
So we've got 4 or 5 questions, so we better get straight into this, mate.
Yeah, we will. We will. So again, thank you to everyone that submitted questions. They're up. I'm actually trying to put them up on a Saturday or early Sunday, just so we can prepare for the show, because it gets a bit hard trying to do things Monday before we go live.
Not for me. I was asleep till 7:25.
That's because you are lazy. So we had a lot of questions submitted, so we can't choose them all. But please keep submitting them, and we'll pick the ones that we can. All right, Calzo 94. Another one I believe is still in chats. We've got here, should Anzac Day round have a mandatory special jumper that is more than just the Anzac logo and poppy?
I think he needs to elaborate. Like,
I know what he means. If you look at Hawthorn, they've got like the man. I think he just means like a more traditional showing the Anzacs.
Yep,
no, just like a. Sorry, you go.
No, I was just agreeing with Todd. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was like, basically, some jerseys, like GWS, have a specially designed jersey for Anzac round. A lot of the other clubs just wear their normal jersey with an Anzac symbol.
With the poppy on the jersey.
Yeah, well, I know Collingwood do one every year. I know not Richmond, Essendon do one every year because they're
Yeah, but they
are the
play in the
biggest
main
games.
game. Yeah.
Oh, well.
I don't think it should be mandatory. If they want to do it, they want to do it. Most clubs do get around it now.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can make it mandatory because if someone's playing on a Thursday and Anzac Day's on the Monday,
I
I
think
know it's Anzac Day round, but
I think it's just going to become more and more popular anyway, to be honest. I really do.
I think they
Yes.
sell more jerseys. So if you make an Anzac Day, I'm pretty sure Collingwood and Essendon sell between them 80,000 jerseys a year just with the new Anzac Day one. So
Yep.
clubs
And
will just
I
start
think
doing it for that.
with every game as well, they do the last post before, and they do like a tribute to all the soldiers that have fallen and that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Brooke says she hates Collingwood and she also watches, just doesn't comment. So it's nice to see
Yeah.
you commenting, Brooke. But
Thanks for the
Fantastic, Brooke. We love the Collingwood hate. We do.
you do. All right, next question. It's from, I'm just going to say Ping.
Pingu.
Would you rather, we haven't had one of these for a while and I like it. Would you rather Saints wooden spoon record or Collingwood's grand final losing record? And what that is 27 of each.
Yeah, now it's hard because Collingwood means you get into the grand finals, but you've lost 27 grand finals. It's not happy time, but it's not happy time winning a spoon either.
That's right.
Still
I'm
won
gonna
the
go
most
to you
games in the
first.
club.
Eggy, well, I'm going to go you first.
Obviously, I'm going to go Collingwood's grand final losing record.
I'd rather the Collingwood grand final losing record too because it means we're winning games during the year. The spoon means you've had a terrible season. You're winning games, you get in there, you just can't finish.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it feels like a win when you're like tied with two other teams that are having the most AFL premierships, but you've lost more grand finals.
Can you please rephrase that, Eggy? You've not got the most AFL premiership. You have the most AFL VFL premierships. If you're talking straight AFL, Hawthorn has the most AFL premiership. Just like we speak facts on this show, Eggy. So just get that on there.
I'm making a rule for next week, Todd. If you have a sleep before the show, you get up, then you get back into bed, then you get out the other side.
I'm just trying to speak facts. So you got the most AFL VFL because technically Hawthorn, since it's turned AFL, has the most.
Okay.
Tiger time, I do really dislike the Cats. I don't like the Cats either, to be honest. Not even sorry, Ping. Carlton Flaggers 2025. Also, if you're a Carlton supporter, check him out on Instagram. His page is actually really, really good.
If you're any supporter, you can get behind him, even if you're a North supporter.
This is true. Do you?
No, I do not, but you can.
All right, so Carlton Flaggers has got here. How should Carlton fans perceive their first win? I just threw lids earlier, so we can see what I think. No, I'm just
With the grain of
perceive
salt.
it as going. Imagine this: you're on a diving pool, diving into a pool, and you slip off the diving board towards that victory. That's how I see that win.
I think we'll know more after this week.
Yeah,
I take it with a grain of salt, but I think that Moist is too salty for all of us.
No, they needed the win, and it was good to see them get a win. If they beat North, I think it's still going to be pretenders territory. They need to get a win over a good club and get their season rolling. But whether they can get back into their season, I'm not sure.
If they beat North by 10 goals, I'll be more convinced.
Then you're up and gone.
I prefer 15, so it's 15 kilometres.
Yeah.
Well, it's not 15, it's 5 per goal. So
yeah, so 15 goals.
50.
I hope it's 100 points.
100 points doesn't count. It's only the goal differential.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I hope we kick 20 goals one.
Yeah. Well, if you kick 20 goals to our one, it's 19.
Tiger Times answered the question before. I'd rather lose a grand final than getting spoons. To be fair, at least that means we're consistently good enough. Yep. Kelzo, last season, 5 teams had a specific Anzac jumper. 5 of 18 doesn't seem very popular to me, which is a shame. But it's more than the previous few years, Kelzo. It's slowly getting more and more. All right, we'll go back to our questions here. So, and this one's from the anonymous. Oh, someone's put Eggy next to that.
Oh, well, we all know who it was. We guessed who it was.
So this was an anonymous, and I'm looking at you, Eggy, submission. He's got Moisty. Are pies still pretenders? Do we have to actually go into this?
We'll go into this because I think
you had to go and break the question early, so now he's been thinking about it the whole show.
That's it. Been thinking about it. All right. Well, so we go around to round 1. They play against GWS in opening round and get absolutely spanked.
Oh, was that after a bye? Oh, well,
absolutely.
Apparently Hawks
what do you mean
to
a
lose
bye?
after
The season didn't start. Then they go and beat injured it was a very good win against Port Adelaide, but an injured Port Adelaide that look half retarded. And we move into Bulldogs and English Bulldogs, where they should have lost that game due to free kick differential. The umpires gave them that win, so I'm counting that as a loss. So they've got 1 from 2 so far. Then, yes, in other words, and I'm dragging on here, but yes, they're pretenders. Until if they beat Brisbane this week, I'll be on board.
You're nearly putting me to sleep then, Moisty.
Oh, no, that's why I was saying that. But if they beat Brisbane this week, I'll be on board. But I put them as the hardest run in the AFL, and then the way the teams have come out playing, they've probably had the easiest run.
Fair
So
point.
it should be even easier on the way home then.
Well, it could get harder because you play the better sides now.
All right.
Haven't played Richmond.
But you still don't leave Melbourne, so.
Nah.
And
Why
that's
would we?
fine.
Why
They
would we?
complained about opening round. They've had to go to Sydney 2 years in a row now.
You don't
They're
bring it up.
refusing to do that now
Carlton
because
complained about opening round.
yeah, but Carlton, don't worry about Carlton.
I don't
So-
think anyone
All
else.
right. So
We've got
Collingwood
here-
have complained about that. They're going home now. They're not going to play opening round because they've lost 2 opening rounds. Bad luck. You want to be the biggest and the baddest, you've got to support the AFL too.
The Toe Time's got here. Do a Richmond Orange if you are a Blues fan getting your first win. What would you like me to do, Tiger? I'll put it out there and we'll see. Calzo's got the NRL have at least half the league wearing a different jumper. It will
Yeah,
get
but
there.
their NRL states are in predominantly military states.
Yeah. And then Turtle's got here. You said last week if they beat Sydney, you'd be on board. I actually.
I don't
remember
think
you
I never
saying
said
that.
I was on board, but I said
Well,
Sydney are tough. I said
so-
Sydney were looking good, is what
Go
I
on.
said.
So
we're
lock it
talking
in.
facts here.
Lock it
We're
in.
talking facts. You go back and look.
If
I
they
said,
if they beat Brisbane, are you on board?
if they beat Brisbane, I'm on board.
Yeah.
If
All
they
right,
get over
let's-
Brisbane, we'll put them flag favourites.
Let's snip this. All right. We'll snip this. We'll load it to our Insta and our TikTok.
I'm still going to throw the hate to Collingwood, but I'll be on board.
I love it. I love it. All right. I think that's it for tonight.
It was.
Yep.
Show's done. All right, so
Yeah,
don't forget to follow the Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and the shops, and the I Hate Collingwood Club. That'll start directly after the show.
I just have to scroll
Eggy's our
down.
lead member there.
But
Just have to
also,
scroll down,
like,
make sure.
if you watched on YouTube, like the YouTube, it helps of us to get seen.
Oh,
by a
I
lot
forgot
more
about
other
YouTube.
people.
Yeah, I like the YouTube too. I actually don't hate Collingwood either, boys. I'll just
You say that,
no,
but,
I
but,
do.
but
I
your
do. I hate
actions speak
Collingwood.
louder than words, mate.
Hate
Yeah,
Collingwood.
100%. Actually, guys, if you are watching now, please, if you want to minimize the chat and hit the like button now, it genuinely helps us a lot with growing our brand. So welcome, not welcome. Thank you.
Goodbye, Tassie. We're giving up, mate. We're out.
Thank you
We're off.
for joining our show called Moisty's Hate on Pies. We've really enjoyed your company tonight.
Yes. But if
Let's,
you're keen to have a drink, we'll be at the game on Friday afternoon. You can
And
catch
don't
us.
forget,
You can catch
You
us.
just cut him off.
You can,
Sorry, yeah.
you can catch us outside Gate 9 at the Harbour Cafe. We're having a few drinks there and maybe having.
oh, that's what I was about to say. I didn't know if you were going to remember to say that. Just join us at the cafe for happy hour drinks too.
Yes, happy
Special
hour.
going on if you mention T&T football.
We'll be there, so we'll make sure you know about it.
Because the game starts at 3:20, so we're probably going to try to get there about 1ish.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Do some
Yep.
interviews before the
Uh,
game, and
Probably about 4 or 5 beers before 1ish, mate. Maybe 12:30.
well, we'll be there anyway outside Gate 9. Love to see you guys there.
And on
Thanks,
that
let's
note,
hope-
I hope we have an explosive round of footage.